right, we are in this thing. So today we're going to be doing a research stream. What is happening to Fatima? Fatima. Depends on who you are, how it's pronounced. That's how it is. But what is happening to Fatima? We're going to go into a couple of things with that to do research because we have a quote-unquote show, and that is, I believe it's scheduled for 2 hours from now on Parkland Media YouTube channel. So this will be the fact finding for that show. So the questions that we're going to be trying to figure out are, what are the dangers of having varicose veins? What are the possibilities for Fatima to continue using her ability? Is Fatima in pain or discomfort? Can Smiley control Fatima? Because it may be a two-way street. Then, is there a similarity between Fatima and the Ghoulish Children? I'll show you a picture of one of the Ghoulish Children for the trailer from season 4, episode 9, and how one of the Ghoulish Children has veins on his face, or her face, and it looks similar to Fatima's belly. And does Fatima have eternal life since she is medically dead? She has a low heart rate and low blood pressure where she is medically dead, but she's walking around fine. So does she have eternal life where she can't die? Because she should already be dead. So we'll try to address those questions, go through episode 8 to figure that stuff out. Then we'll do the show on Parkland Media YouTube channel in about an hour or two. All right, so what's going on, everybody? Hello, Red Star 24. Thank you. Welcome. Janelle, what's going on? House of Mystics, welcome. All right. So, hello. Mike, what's going on? Michael Sullivan in the house. So we're going to be trying to address those questions and more. So right now, there's a Discord watch along. It's on Amanda Kenny's Discord. There's a watch along scheduled for this Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Basically, it's going to be the same thing we do on the research stream, but on Discord. And we're going. The goal right now, or the plan, is watch a scene, pause it, and I talk about it and read comments like we're doing right now with YouTube, and just kind of basically when people get notes, you can type your notes instead of emailing them to me or keeping them to yourself. You can type notes in the comment section, and I'll read them out. I'll be recording the whole thing, and it'll be just like a research stream, but a watch along in Discord. So there's that. So Monrex925, what is going on? Welcome. David, hello. Everything happening to Fatima is because of the golem, shadow projection, and swapping. Well, we could say it's because of the golem. We could, but Fatima's body is having a physical effect from controlling Smiley and having it to where he has stopped his transformation. And then Fatima even said that she feels Smiley even before the controlling and before the golem was created. So the golem was basically made because Fatima was already feeling and sensing Smiley. So we'll look, we'll go through the episode and I'll show you that. So the golem may be just until we get more information, the golem may just be a emotional support animal in a way, or emotional support thing, where it doesn't really have any type of actual effect and it's a placebo. But Fatima was already feeling Smiley, which is why she made the golem as a way to protect herself and gain courage. So yeah. So TS Tucson, what's up? Welcome. I think that's everybody. right now. And yeah, so there's that. So one thing we're going to look at, I think I presented it over on Parkland Media before. But first, there's this quote unquote behind the scenes thing that we looked at in the beginning of From season 4. So, since the season has started, and I doubt they're going to give us whatever this image is, this may have been a fan made image that I was emailed and I was told it's behind the scenes. It's probably fan made because we're about to watch episode 9 and then 10 next week. It's more than likely we won't get this scene. So this was supposed to be some type of thing as far as in the township, and I pointed out that school buses really became a thing 1939. People have said, no, it's made before 1939. So for the school bus to be in town, it's got to be later than 1939. And I was like, well, the town had to have been made in the 1900s because you got the neon signs on the diner and neon sign on the motel sign, or neon on the motel sign. So the town had to, and then plus you had the Victorian mansion, which is Colony House. So a lot of the stuff is 1900-ish. So this picture may have been a hoax. We went through all of that. It may have been a hoax. And there's so many fan-made images going around where people will make a fan-made image in order to add to the conversation taking place on different social media platforms and to somewhat create something that people accept to push off as a theory when in actuality is fan fiction. Because think about it. When's the last time you heard about the King in Yellow? Remember, I think it was about 2024 when we had the end of season 3 of From, where the man in yellow revealed himself and took out Jim and addressed future Julie. People were saying the man in yellow is the King in Yellow, King in Yellow. Everybody and they mama was saying King in Yellow. Season 4 has happened. I haven't heard King in Yellow since. So a lot of stuff that people kind of move on from and don't mention, I'm mentioning it because there's so much fan fiction out there, it's stinking up the joint. So I think if we don't see this on this episode 9 coming out tomorrow for me, Sunday morning for a lot of you all, then this is definitely fan fiction, just like the King in Yellow, okay? When Man in Yellow turned into Sophia, I didn't hear anybody else say King in Yellow. Didn't even say Queen in Yellow. They just moved on from that fan fiction and called it a day. So that's that. Now here's something else. I have presented this on Parkland Media YouTube channel during the live stream, and I was saying that Flight of the Chromonacle was made by Kay Dillon. I think the Man in Yellow is similar, if not Loki, as a trickster. In the preview that we're going to watch, Sophia says, I'm playing multiple games. I mean, Loki plays multiple games. He's a shapeshifter. He's doing stuff just to be mischievous, just because Loki could be what the Man in Yellow is, or who the Man in Yellow is, or maybe the Man in Yellow is made off of that. So I took the word Loki, and then the writer of episode 3 and 4 of season 4, when Julie and Randall went to the Matthews house rubble to get Flight of the Chromonacle and the Grand Gulagog and all that and those books. The writer's name is Layden. Let me get the full name. So it's Kristen Layden. She wrote episode 3 and episode 4 of season 4, when Julie and Randall get Flight of the Chromonacle. And my theory is that perhaps Kristen Layden actually wrote the Flight of the Chromonacle, which is an actual book. When they go through the flip the pages, it's actual stuff in the book. It's not just like a cover only or whatever. So the theory is that the writer named Kristen Layden wrote the actual Flight of the Chromonacle and made a anagram of Loki, who I think the Man in Yellow is, plus her last name Layden, and we have an anagram of Loki and Layden, which is Kate Dillon, which is the author on the front of Flight of the Chromonacle. Not saying this is a thing, it's a theory, but I have yet for anyone to come up with a better explanation as to who Kate Dillon is. And I think if the Man in Yellow is Loki and was involved with writing Flight of the Chromonacle and other books, that would explain why Ethan, season 3, episode 10, in the diner, said to Julie, "You can't change a story once it's been told." And then the Man in Yellow mirrors that or echoes that season 4, episode 1 of From, where the Man in Yellow, when talking to future Julie, says, didn't anybody tell you can't change a story? That would be a good foreshadow as far as the Ethan character and callback for the Man in Yellow character between season 3 and season 4. So that's what my theory is right now. I haven't really heard anyone say anything different or to try to say, well, no, I think it's this or that. I haven't heard anybody give any other explanation as far as the theory for the Kate Dillon. And we might not get anything canonical in the show. So that's my theory as of that. And to me, it makes sense, especially since the writer of episode 3 and 4, when they get the book, is Kristen Layden. And the Man in Yellow said the thing that Ethan told Julie in the diner. All right, so let's see. Go into the comment section. A lot of people chatting. So Janelle says excited for today's stream. I appreciate that. I'm excited too. So let's see. So David believes that Fatima's going to return to normal after they're finished running amok in the tunnels. Okay. I think they're going to, talking about the writers, the director, I think they're going to further develop that storyline with Fatima and what's physically happening to her for season 5, but who knows? I honestly think that season 4 is going to, and I haven't seen any future episodes, but my theory is that season 4 is going to end with the unleashing of stuff that Martin was telling Boyd about. And I think Fatima's physical appearance and her ability and connection to Smiley is going to further be carried over into season 5. But we'll see. So Janelle says, unpopular opinion, I think for this season, the Golem will lead us nowhere. I think the Golem is just it's just like a emotional support thing. You know, you got some people, they believe in like a rabbit's foot, so they carry a rabbit's foot with them, and every time they have good fortune or things going their way, they're like, oh, the rabbit's foot did it. Or people who are religious will contribute everything good to God, everything bad to the devil. Not trying to speak negative on religion or anything, but sometimes we might create something to give us confidence, and every time something goes our way or we get an outcome we desire, we attribute it to the thing that we created. And then when we have bad luck, we may attribute it to something else. So I don't know. We'll see. So Redstar24, I hope not knows we've spent so much time with the Golem, and now with Fatima's reaction afterwards, that'd be annoying if it was just a dropped storyline. I think it's just that, just like with, what do they do that didn't really go anywhere. So just like with the idea of Brian Kelly, that who Boy served with, and they introduced it for like one episode, and then that was the end of it. I think it might be that, or even with Fatima having Ellis's lucky handkerchief, she smelled it, then she saw the kimono woman. I think because they're using different writers each episode, some stuff is more episodic versus seasonal. So the golem might be just that. So Mike says arms and legs delivery delayed. Fatima's Amazon Prime ain't been paid in a while. Could be. So Janelle says, what if Fatima dies and her spirit inhabits the golem next season? That would be, I think people would be sad about that. David said there are thematic similarities. The Yellow King is a shadow archetype as well as Man in Yellow. The last monologue in Yellow King is what connects to From. And see, I think some things people have a confirmation bias on. Only thing I'm saying is, as of season 4, and we're about to watch episode 9, I have not heard anyone mention King in Yellow, King of Yellow, Yellow King the entire season as far as comment section and content creator. So the King in Yellow, especially with the idea that John Griffin said the inspiration for the Man in Yellow was a street performer who was dancing like an angel, I think that's what it is. It's just, that's the inspiration for the character, and he might be a trickster like Loki, and that's about it. So David says, but I would love it if she just changed into a monster permanently, but I don't see it happening. Yeah, I think a lot of people would be sad if that's the case. I think a lot of people would be sad. So Janelle says, I wish I could send a super chat or Smith, or my YouTube on my phone doesn't give me the option to. Yeah, this channel is not monetized. So if you want to donate, you can through Cash App. Let me run the commercial just in case anyone has that idea of wanting to support the platform. This channel is not monetized.
App $Spade
Parkland.
We're going to start getting some work done, family. So please get them donations in. Get them in.
$Spade Parkland. Spade Parkland.
Cash App
$Spade Parkland.
All right, there is that commercial complete. Let's see. So I thought I read someone mentioning. Okay, so Janelle says, I like the K. Dillon theory. Authors do use anagrams when creating their names. My friend is an author and does it as well. Okay. So one comment for K. Dillon. Okay. So that is all for the K. Dillon. I just wanted to put that up there to see if anybody had any comments about it. And now we're going to go into, before starting this research journey of answering those questions to prepare for the show, we're going to watch the trailer again for season 4, episode 9, The Calm Before.
Do you know who I really am? Maybe if you look closer. Oh, God.
The guy in the yellow suit, he's back. When the sun comes up tomorrow, I want to be ready to put shovels in the ground. Look at those bones. What do you want?
You know what the others are doing?
Hey, buddy. Hey, Victor, come on. Hey, no.
Do you like games? I love them. I'm playing so many right now.
Yeah, playing so many games right now. That sounds like some Loki stuff, but it could be confirmation bias. Okay, so the last time Sophia controlled someone, talking about the priest ended up dead. And just seeing Sophia have this interaction with her here, and then Sophia gets all close, drops her glasses and shows her eyes, and it's like, oh God. I think maybe Sophia in yellow hypnotized Clara, maybe showed her something. We don't know if Sophia is touching Clara as far as like skin to skin contact. We don't know what's going on, but just seeing that they're having a friendly chat right here, and Clara looks terrified. Clara may be under the control of Sophia in yellow, under her control, and Clara may not survive this encounter. So that's the sad news right there. But the reason I brought this up, this trailer, is because the Ghoulish Children, I have to go back and look at past episodes, but we see more of the veins right here. So we see vein right here. I think we see kind of like maybe I'm looking too hard, but maybe a vein right here, and I think maybe a vein right here as if being drained. And then you got the one that's very obvious right here as far as the drainathon. This boy or girl really got the business with the draining. Now with Fatima, it's just her belly. So that's the reason why we're going to look at different things to see if we can come to some conclusions as far as the questions. And the questions again are, what are the dangers of having varicose veins? What are the possibilities for Fatima to continue using her ability, trying to control Smiley and make him not transform and stuff? Is Fatima in pain or discomfort? Can Smiley control Fatima? May not be able to find that out. Can Smiley control... No, I already said that. I already asked that. Is there a similarity between Fatima and the Ghoulish Children? I think there is, because you got the vein thing going. Does Fatima have eternal life since she is medically dead? I don't think she has eternal life. We won't find that out unless she actually dies, but she's medically dead right now. So, in theory, if you're already medically dead, you really shouldn't be able to die. Because, for example, like in The Walking Dead, the walkers are functioning, walking, blinking, biting, all that, but they're medically dead. And you can kill the walkers by chopping their head off, but any other type of wound, or any type of damage, such as like shooting them, maybe even stabbing them, a lot of it does not really affect them. It just kind of slows them down. Like decapitating them is how you prevent them from continuing on as far as the virus in the brain that The Walking Dead has introduced. So I think the answer for that is no, but she's medically dead. All right, so now we're going to take this down and we're going to look at episodes. Going to look at some episodes, and I think most of these is going to be from season 4. Let me double check, because I had some notes as to when Fatima first started experiencing being afraid. And that's what I kind of want to play, is when she was originally afraid. And that's what kind of made her want to make the golem. Yeah, so Fatima found out she gave birth to Smiley episode 1 of season 4. Let's see. Because Fatima was smashing the vehicles, I think it was episode 3. So maybe, you know what, we'll start with... Let's see. We'll start with episode 4. Because she mentions being afraid, and that's what I kind of want to find and play. But then again, it could have been, you know what, maybe it was episode 1. Was it episode 1 where she was saying that she was afraid? I mean, she said, I told you, I told you. That's Julie. So, sorry about that. Let's see. No. All right, right here. Yes, House of Mystics, thank you. Everybody hit the like button, please, and thank you. So Michelle says the necklace around Clara's neck is looking a bit tribal. Only reason why the clothing and items and from may or may not be a thing is that because when people arrive in the township, everybody bomb rushes them and goes through their stuff, like Trudy was doing. Somebody could be wearing something that they think is cute, even though it has meaning. So we might see Clara wearing something and say, oh, it looks like she belongs to blah, blah, blah. Whereas she might have worn it because she went through someone's suitcase and thought it looked nice. So Janelle says, I don't think that pic of Sophia's family is AI generated. You can literally gaslight AI to believe things are fake by flooding the internet with claims it's artificial. Well, as far as the Sophia picture with the other people, if they show it in the show, then we could say, oh, okay. But I think until we see something in the show, it's kind of like it may be a fan-made picture, just like I showed in the beginning when it was this whole school bus. This school bus pic in the township more than likely is fan-made unless we see it actually in the show. So a lot of stuff that is presented as a theory, explanation, picture floating around the internet. It may be a fan-made picture, unless we see it in the show. And a lot of stuff that we see floating around is kind of fan-made. Like someone had a theory, they made an AI picture of something to support their theory, and people run with it because people tend to like pictures and video, even though something may be AI generated. You know, we've played different not comedians, but different comedy videos on this channel where people are making like fan-made content for like, you know, laughs and stuff. But there's been people that kind of like mention that maybe there's some fan-made stuff that may not be in the show or whatever. So right now I'm just looking for the Fatima scenes.
Okay. We're all done. You did great. Am I okay? Physically, everything looks fine.
Okay, so here's the first thing. Christy said, physically everything looks fine. And this is season 4, episode 1. So she didn't have the varicose veins then after giving birth to Smiley. And everything was physically fine after giving birth to him.
Is there anything you can tell me about the birth? Yeah.
What would you like to know? About the terrifying woman in the kimono that held me.
So House of Mystics, we should do a research stream on the characters, main one starting from their first appearance. Well, that's more than likely like a watch along, because you're talking about the entire series. Yeah, that's more like a watch along in Discord to rewatch the entire series. And then when doing the research, it's like, what are we trying to find out? So that's kind of like rewatching the entire series. So David says Sophia has to be from the 70s. She has to be from a previous cycle because Man in Yellow has her clothes and can wear her image. So he likely has her tooth as well, and the 70s makes the most sense. Well, Sophia could be just a different form of him. Because if Sophia, let's say if Sophia is from a previous cycle, the Man in Yellow that looks like Doug could be from a cycle. So I think it's possible, but as of right now, there's no way to know that Sophia or the Man in Yellow Doug is from a actual cycle. For all we know, Sophia could be the real form and the man could be from a previous cycle. As in, the reason why Sophia favors the yellow suit is because she's not really a man. Like, she's a woman. So she's adamant about, or not adamant, but she went and found the yellow suit because that's the only thing that fits her in a man form, because she really could be a woman the whole time. For all we know, Sophia could be Lilith. If you believe in Lilith was created before Adam. So Sophia, the real form, could have the man in yellow Doug's tooth. I mean, for the show to have Sophia 90% of season 4, in my opinion, it would make sense that that is Sophia's that is the real form, and that's why it may feel the most comfortable as Sophia.
Down, or the thing she pulled out of me that you told me wasn't there.
Boys.
Come in.
So Michael Sullivan says, Jade's beard has had a wild journey. Yeah. So David believes that the man in yellow came from the original cycle because he was close friends with Tabitha. Well, I think, okay, you know how the Joker in DC Comics, how basically the Joker has told Batman that Batman is his only friend, but they're antagonistic to each other. That's how I was understanding of that dynamic, that this is somebody who, or something that's evil and crazy, and they view the constant interaction with versions of Tabitha as a friendship. Because according to Victor, the man in yellow was munching on Miranda. So if they really were quote unquote friends, I don't think he would be munching on her, putting his hand around her neck as if he's gonna choke her, or saying he's not gonna kill her yet. I mean, like, stuff like that. I think the man in yellow was being sarcastic.
Hey, how you doing?
What did you see in the tunnels? Did you find the woman in the kimono?
I did.
I'm gonna head out.
No, stay.
Okay, so I think the rest of this speech is Boyd mentioning what he saw in the tunnels as far as Smiley. So, and then they have Henry moving in.
I saw what they did.
Okay.
Those things in the woods. I think I saw how they became what they are.
Okay. So House of Mystic says Victor's stories keep changing. So maybe Miranda was having an affair with the man in yellow and cycle. What? Christopher next cycle. So now. So the original Tabitha was having an affair with the man in yellow. And that's why the man in yellow is taunting Tabitha. So Mita says man in yellow had his hands all over her, twice as Sophia too, when Tabs was helping after. Well, okay, y'all have to understand, and I'm gonna kind of tread lightly with this. Have y'all ever seen a predator interact with a potential victim or a victim before? They have a sick and twisted mindset talking about a predator. And the way the man in yellow was acting with Tabitha is like someone who's a predator. So it may come across that he's loving and stuff, but it's predatory, as if he's a grapist. Okay, so I don't think there was anything consensual. I think we're talking about somebody who's a predator. And, you know, like Mita saying, if he touches you, he can influence you, but he didn't influence Tabitha. I think because he's just like playing with his food. I don't think it was anything like an affair or anything like that in the previous cycle. Because if he had an affair with her, let's say if he had an affair with the original Tabitha, he wouldn't have been eating her. He would have been more of trying to remind her of what they had in the past. Because if Tabitha had, so if Tabitha or at any time had some type of consensual thing with the man in yellow, he more than likely would be trying to remind her of what they had, not acting like how he was acting. Right, Thacia did gets it. I wanted to call SVU on the man in yellow. Yeah. Hello, Detective Benson. Yeah. That's how the interaction. Well, I mean, now some of you all may have had crazy relationships that were dysfunctional, where you're like, you know what? You may have viewed that as something that was like positive. I know I poked fun during the member live and everything, but some people may be like, yeah, my partner and I, we do stuff like that as a part of our kink. Well, you all are already partners. But if you're talking about someone who is a stranger, remember the man in yellow said, oh, you don't remember me, to Tabitha. So if it's like that movie 50 First Dates where Adam Sandler is trying to remind, what's that woman's name from E.T.? I forgot her name, but she was playing on E.T. So if you're trying to remind somebody like 50 First Dates, like they forgot about you and y'all are together, you more than likely will be like Adam Sandler trying to remind them of who you are to them. It wouldn't be like Law and Order SVU. Okay? Right, Michael Sullivan's got it. The man in yellow is more Ted Bundy than Al Bundy, unless you all like that type of thing. See, if you're like, I like him, you know, I like him tough. I like, I find people who have served time in prison to be sexy. If you're one of those, you might not understand this, and I'm not even going to try to explain it to you. You got your deal. But for people who like a regular relationship, nothing dysfunctional, nothing dysfunctional, what the man in yellow was doing with Tabitha at the end of episode 8 was not a good thing. Drew Barrymore, there you go. Steph, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, like Drew Barrymore. If you're like Drew Barrymore and you've forgotten who you're with, like Amnesia or something, or 50 First Dates, okay, cool. Okay, cool. But if this is someone who doesn't know who you are and you're like, oh, you don't remember me? And they're like, you know, telling you, I killed your husband right there. I took his tooth, you know. No, that's not. That's very predatory. That is very negative. So if you're like, no, to me, that's love. That's bae. You got it. You got it. I'm not even gonna, it's not even a Fatima's Martin at that point. At that point, it's just like, yeah. So Michelle says, no, she doesn't remember him yet. Yeah. So, I mean, she might remember him, but I doubt that if it was some type of consensual positive thing, he would tell her, oh, I killed Jim or killed your husband right there. I took his tooth. Wouldn't be putting his hands around her neck like that. Yeah, it would be more of a pleasant interaction versus sounding and looking like we gotta call them folks.
They made a bargain. because something promised them that they would live forever.
A bargain. With what?
I don't know.
Okay, so I think the rest of that is Fatima just being kind of terrified. I don't think she mentions having a connection then. So let me fast forward. Yeah, because the end of... Oh, and something else that hasn't been explained, just to kind of to tell y'all. Okay, y'all remember this episode right here? Maybe this is the Vision monster or something, but they showed us something episode 1 that really didn't go anywhere. I mean, yeah, we got Jim or whatever, but it didn't go anywhere. That's what I mean. The Golem might be the same way. Remember this right here? This is episode 1. Episode 1 of season 4.
I don't know.
So Tabitha's getting up. She goes to the kitchen. Y'all remember that? Poltergeist? It was as if it was a scene in the movie Ghost or something. With Patrick Swayze. This ain't Patrick Swayze. So this was season 1. I mean, no, this was episode 1 of season 4. We're about to go to episode 9. They haven't given us more with this. I mean, yeah, you could say maybe it was the Vision monster in Jim form or whatever. But when has the Vision monster done anything and been invisible? Yeah, they didn't give us any more with this. They didn't give us anything else with this. So Face Your Dick says, yeah, and no one said a word about it, like it didn't happen. Yeah. Even the Matthews didn't like tell anybody. It's just kind of like they moved on to episode 2. Like, okay, it happened. Okay. So Michelle says, I saw a spider. Oh, Lord. More Spider-Gate. You know, it's funny because the spider, the woman that was like really adamant about the spider, she ain't been back. Or she's watching in the clouds, hadn't typed or anything. And then even last time we did a member live, when that guy said that he would like to be in Fromville because it's no mortgage, no rent, no job, no nothing. And I went in to explain how there's no air conditioning. In the summertime, you're musty. See, when people put something out there and I poke fun and crack jokes, they don't come back or watch from the clouds. That lets you know that either that was not their original thought and they're embarrassed because they can't defend it, or they're just embarrassed. So you got to have thick skin. You got to have thick skin, y'all, especially for the member live. I don't know if we're going to do a member live today, but you got to have thick skin. You got to have thick skin. Because if you're like, you know what? I would like to get with Sophia. And I point out, you know, Sophia is supposed to be Doug, man in yellow. And then you're like, you start saying some stuff that looks a little bit suspect. We might be looking at you like, you know, if you're into that type of thing, live your truth. And then that person might not come back. Matter of fact, I think that person didn't come back. I was like, hey, live your truth. I'm out here on the West Coast and people are living their truth overtly. So live your truth. So Mike says going into the box promotes thick skin. Yeah, it does. It does. So Face Your Digs, I can't stand a bug or a roach or any bug for that matter. I don't do Bugs Life. Well, you don't want to be in the township because if there's no air conditioning and people are constantly hot and they're walking around with jackets during the summer for whatever reason, they're going to be musty. No deodorant, no soap, just water, bathing in the brundles. Yeah, there's bugs everywhere. There are more than likely bugs everywhere.
What's happening?
Yeah, what is happening? What is happening? Because we didn't get anything else from that. So we have a whole list right now. The poltergeist situation, didn't get anything else from that. Didn't get anything as far as Yellow King. Haven't heard anything as far as Yellow King or anything like that. All right, so we're going to episode 2. So right now, we got everything was looking fine on Fatima. I hope I run out of time because the live stream is at I think it's 6 p.m. It's about to be 5 now. Because some people, they're like, forget the research stream. I'm only gonna deal with the quote unquote show. Some people kind of have that mindset of dealing with the show. And then even with the Ram's head, you know, it's like, what's up with that? Like they gave us the Ram's head and then they didn't really go anywhere with the Ram's head. Let me show y'all the Ram's head for those of y'all who forgot. I mean, not that they have to explain, but it would kind of make sense if the characters were to figure something out. Uh-oh, wrong thing. All right, so I could have sworn I had okay, right here. Okay, remember the Ram's head? Look at Tabitha. Tabitha looking like she's doing the prison pose right there. I messed that up. Oh, good. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Gotta... There we go. Tabitha doing the prison pose. Okay. She's ready. If you know, you know. All right. Yeah, what happened to the Ram's head? I know you all said, well, it's this, it's that. We all had our theories, but yeah, we didn't get anything as far as what the characters were making of the Ram's head. I mean, yeah, Sophia mentioned about the story of Abraham, which is actually called the binding of Isaac within the story of Abraham. But yeah, what's up with that? Yeah, we didn't get anything as far as this. That was the main. It was a main squad. That's a prison. Well, I call it prison pose because every time I've seen people in jail and prison take pictures, they're like squatting down. Anyway. So Face Your Dig says, I would need y'all to send me off to glory. Well, if you die in Fromville, you don't leave. Marielle already said there is no leaving. Right, Face Your Dig understands that was absolutely a prison pose. For those that know, you know. You don't have to serve time to know, like, oh yeah, that's the prison pose. Unless you're playing baseball. Now, if you're playing baseball and you're, the catcher, well, no, not even then. Not even, I mean, maybe, but not really. Yeah, prison pose. Yeah, it's the squat. It's the squat where you looking like it's about to go down in the yard. It's about to go down in the yard, y'all. About to go down in the yard. All right, let me fix this. Okay, so this has nothing to do with the research stream. I just was like, what's going on with the RAM? I haven't heard anybody mention the RAM since episode 2. I mean, Sophia mentioned some stuff, but it's like, okay, what's the big deal? Oh, we got this part right here. We got Jim. So I didn't really hear anybody on the show analyze this. I mean, I'm surprised Jade wouldn't have talked about it or whatever, and theory crafting and trying to figure stuff out, but let's see. So maybe Fatima's not even in this. And then right here, and then this other thing. Here's something else that they may not necessarily really explain, because there had to be some type of significance. Maybe Julia Doyle will explain it to us. This scene right here, remember this? Kind of looks at the glasses, examining them, like reminiscing. That's it. Hopefully we understand what the lore is with the glasses, or we find it out episode 9. Maybe she's been talking to Clara. She may explain these glasses belong to the real Sophia, or they belong to the real Sophia's dad. I killed him and took not just his tooth, but his glasses. So David believes that they are the real Sophia's glasses. Could be. Let's see. Miss Win LS says tarot cards. Okay. So Miss Win LS says hint that Tilly was the man in yellow. Okay. So Mike says one of Tabitha's previous incarnations got done for some serious tax evasion. Could be. You got to report all your income. You got to pay them taxes. What? So Rob 7388, what have you missed? Right now, taking a bunch of detours, looking for Fatima scenes for a show coming up. Okay, so detour complete. Right now, we're just going through every episode, looking for some Fatima time, getting ready for the show and trying to answer some questions. So what happened to y'all's boy? What happened to... We're about to watch episode 9. Still haven't seen, I think it's the Vision Monster.
What are you doing out here?
I came to get the radio.
What are you doing? I mean, for all we know, the Vision Monster may have been looking over his shoulder, looking for the man in yellow. It would make sense if that's what he was doing. Like he was sitting there, maybe like he was hiding. Watch this. Oh, he's paranoid. Paranoid Jim was a trip, wasn't he?
What's wrong?
Everything's okay.
I should have left that on the screen. Jim looking around like he owes somebody money. That's probably got to be the worst thing in the world. I've never experienced that, but having a parent, you think the world of them, and then you having to like witness them be terrified because they owe somebody some money. Like you talking to your dad came out and, you grew up without your dad so far. You're a little boy or a little girl. Then he comes back around. He owes people money for gambling. I've met people who have had to deal with stuff like that, where they had a parent who gambled or was on drugs. I just nodded like, oh man, that's crazy. Because I just didn't experience that.
Dad, what's happening?
So basically what's happening is you're at home, mom's making dinner, you and your siblings are just in the house, you hear a knock on the door, somebody comes over and is like, we come to get your couch because your husband lost it while gambling. That's the conversation I had when I was like friends with somebody and they were like, that's what they experienced while growing up. I'm like, man, you had to deal with a parent that was gambling, or one of your parents gambling. Somebody else dealt with somebody on drugs. I'm like, golly. Yeah, so this has nothing to do with the mission for today. I just thought that was interesting and kind of funny with the whole my personal interaction, meeting somebody who was like, yeah, their dad was a gambler. Somebody came over during dinner to get the couch that he gambled away and lost. All right. So now we're on, see, episode 3.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I'll get out your way.
No, you don't need to go.
Okay. Fatima was telling everybody else, I told you. The guy who was holding her captive, trafficking her, he gets a pass and she's nice to him. Wow.
I just came to get a glass of water.
Boyd said if people find out what happened,
I know.
we should probably get our story straight.
That's nice of Elgin to want to get the story straight. So Nick says she was nicest to Elgin than anyone this whole season. Yeah. So Mike says, I like Jim. I also liked Khatri and Tom. From keeps turning people I like into ghosts. Well, do you like Clara? Because Clara may end up joining the Ghost Squad. She may be the person the Ghostbusters go after. So Facia Dig says, I mean, I would be nice to the person who kidnapped me too. Wow. So I guess if you want to get on someone's good side based off of face you dig, kidnap them. Remember Deadpool in that movie Deadpool? He said he was talking to the taxi cab driver and was like, kidnap her. Maybe it was Deadpool 2. Maybe it was Deadpool 2. But he was like, yeah, kidnap her and make her understand that you love her. So maybe it works. Also, Facia Diggs says, nice knowing you, Clara. Maybe. Clara may be joining the list of names that are going to be booted off the island.
Are you okay?
Are you okay? Well, I guess because his eyes messed up in his hand, but they were looking for you, Fatima. They were looking for you.
Not really sure I deserve to be.
Elgin,
She's going to say, I forgive you.
I don't want to hate you. This place took advantage of both of us.
None of us will ever be the same again. Will we?
No, we won't.
So I think she just says or asks Elgin for a favor to bring the dirt. I don't think she mentions how she feels and why she's making the golem or anything like that. So I'm going to fast forward. Oh, and here's something else that people have kind of forgot about. Remember this part right here, y'all? Yeah. Our friends came into the township.
Wait.
So I think the golem's going to be the same way. The same way that the crows came into the township, and it's like, whoa, they've never done that before. And this is episode 3. We're about to see episode 9, and we really haven't heard much else about the crows. I think this same episode, Victor, while walking with Ethan and Jade, one of the crows came into that area where they found the yellow suit. Let's find out. Yeah, she looks a little concerned. She looks a little bit concerned. Because normally, if it's her doing, like with Roger, she'll sit back with a smirk. But she looks concerned. This is a concerned face. Like, what is going to happen? What are you guys doing? Yeah. This looks concerning. Okay. And now we got Sophia. She's sitting there positioning herself to watch the Matthews. Okay. I know you all don't believe me, or some of you all don't, but I think this is the scene right here where we have an actress in the background, allegedly, that looks similar to Tien Chen Lu, as in she never left the township. And she's going to the same blue house that the alleged Miranda was at. Because Miranda, we're going to see her right here drinking some coffee. I still think this is, not necessarily the actress that played Tien Chen Lu, but someone dressed like Tien Chen Lu and looks like her to give the or to communicate that you never leave. That's just my opinion. It just seems mighty odd they got her right there. So David believes that he saw the bartender as well in the background. Yeah. So in case you're curious, if you all join us for the Discord this Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern for the watch along, it's going to be just like this, where we watch a scene, pause it, then we discuss what we watch. People get their notes together. You type in the chat, I talk, and then boom. It's basically going to be just like this, except for I'm not going to have to constantly take this off the screen to avoid copyright and stuff. We can actually just watch. Well, it's going to be the same way. It's going to be just like this, where we just talk. And some of you all who have pages and pages and pages of notes, you can either come with notes or you can develop your notes. Yeah, so every time Sophia does something, she always has like this little smile on her face. So I don't think the crows were Sophia related, because she did not have the smile. She didn't have the smile, y'all. Okay, so here's the scene with Fatima and Ellis.
Poor Julie.
Yeah. It seems like a lifetime ago that we made that little space for her in her room.
So for those of you all who say Ellis is useless, Ellis is a tradesman. Because he was, well, in the Fromville he is at least. Remember, he built a bed for Julie in the room they have at the mansion. Because in the mansion, if you pick Colony House, you're on the first floor with everybody else in general population. Then you got second and third floor that have the rooms. So Ellis and Fatima picked Julie up from the population and put her in their room. Ellis made her a bed, a curtain. He's a builder. So just because you all don't see him building stuff, he is building all the time. So Eddie says only if the characters in From would share notes. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Hey. You know, you haven't really talked much about what happened.
I'm trying to be okay.
Okay, she's trying to be okay. The golem was her way of dealing with stuff, so she'd be okay.
I am. I'm trying to let go of this. I just don't know how.
You know what? I have an idea.
Okay, so Ellis has his idea to turn the graveyard into a smash house. Here comes Elgin. Look at her. Look at Fatima. Fatima looked just as suspicious as Jim. Looking over her shoulder, keeping secrets. This is not a good start to a marriage. This is not a good start to a marriage, to any marriage. Not just a good one. This is a bad start where she's looking over her shoulder, keeping secrets. Look at this. Oh, is he looking? Yeah, keeping secrets. This, if you want to have a successful marriage, in my opinion, keeping secrets is not the thing. And look at Fatima, just keeping secrets, knowing good and well people are going to eventually see that she's making this mud monster in her room. All right, so that's that with that Fatima scene. Let's see if we can get anything else from this episode. Okay, so this is where Ethan, I mentioned this to you all in the past, where I was like, hey, Ethan knows the Lake of Tears. And that's why he said to Victor that the Brundles was not it, talking about the Lake of Tears. And this is episode 3 after Vision Jim told Ethan the Lake of Tears is there, go find it.
What's he doing?
I think he's sleeping.
Jade?
What?
Let's go.
We just got here.
It's not what I'm looking for.
How do you know that?
I just do.
See, I just do. So Ethan said to Victor, because remember in the previous scene I didn't play it, but Ethan's looking for the Lake of Tears. He knows this is not the Lake of Tears. So Ethan knows the Lake of Tears, and that's the reason why when they went to the settlement, he did not deny that was the Lake of Tears. Because remember, Ethan saw the Lake of Tears during his, I guess, vision, or when he was in and out of consciousness, and when he was lucid, season 1. So he said to Jim, I saw it, I saw the Lake of Tears. That's the reason why Ethan is saying the Brundles is not it, because Ethan knows the Lake of Tears by looking at it and or feeling it. So there's that. There's that while we continue this Fatima journey. This next scene may be where we possibly see Tom the bartender. Yep, right there. So I believe, not saying this is the actual actor, but I believe that this right here is someone dressed as Tom the bartender to show that when you die in a township, you don't leave. Right there. And then we're going to see him one more time. Maybe, maybe not. Nah. So it was just that one scene. So there we go. That's 2 sightings right there. And I think we're going to get a Miranda as well. Oh, you know what? I forget it. I forgot to play that scene where Tabitha's in the barn talking to Jade and saying, "It should have been you. It should have been you." Oh well. Okay, so here is what I'm talking about as far as so we got the crows being in the township, in the same episode. Here's the crow right here. See? Same episode with the quote unquote funeral.
Victor!
Yep. And then no more crows. Just like with the German Shepherds, we saw them for a little bit and then they're gone. Okay, this is when Victor, Jade, and Ethan saw the yellow suit.
I don't know. I'll try something else.
Not if you're dead!
Then what the fuck?
I don't know why that cracks me up. Look at Tabitha's face. You know, season 3, Tabitha phoned it in. Season 4, she's actually giving it her all. I like it. I like it. Right. Thank you, House of Mystics. I appreciate it. 4 to 4 people watching. 13 likes. Please hit the likes. Get the likes up. So Tabitha is giving it her all. She's not phoning it in like she did last time.
Finding the lighthouse could be what gets everyone home.
Yeah, so she should have stayed on that course of thinking, because I believe the Man in Yellow episode 8 at the end was telling Tabitha, if you dig up the bones, maybe you free yourself and your children, or unleash suffering, to get Tabitha to not think about other options like she was doing episode 3 with the lighthouse before Henry interfered.
Am I supposed to do nothing? Finding the lighthouse could be what gets everyone home.
If it's not...
I don't know. I'll try something else.
Not if you're dead!
Then what the...
Not if you're dead. So Henry didn't have any other solutions, so the lighthouse journey got dropped. All right. I just thought this was funny. Just Tabitha's giving him the business. I heard that, Tabitha. Give him the business. He deserves it. Trying to stop progress. And then episode 9, he may end up forcibly removing himself. Cutting the cutting the anchor or something. This is Henry's solution, is to stop progress, but he's not giving any alternative. Yeah. Not giving any alternative, but he's in the way. That's the problem, is people will come up with a solution and everybody will be like, no, that ain't gonna work, that ain't gonna work. But they don't really provide any type of alternative as to what to do. And look at this dude. Look at this. Look at this. He has no help, no information to give, but he's gonna stop people from uprooting the faraway tree. But you're not giving us anything to do or telling us what to do, but you're going to stop us from doing something.
Why are you here? Why do you look so different?
Those are the wrong questions.
So why don't you give what the right question is? Or just tell us what you want us to know or what we should know. The Henry crying scene? What? Henry was crying? When was Henry crying? Oh, you're talking about episode 8. House of Mystics. Maybe next time. We gotta get these Fatima stuff out the way. We'll eventually get to episode 8 though. At the Miranda Rock. Okay, last episode. Okay.
Will that tree take me back to the lighthouse?
I don't think so.
So that means you got to go on foot. That means you got to go on foot. Right, Eddie's right. Boy in White is a horrible tour guide. Yeah, Amanda's got it. Boy in White, I won't help you, but you're running out of time. Yeah, boy in Yellow needs an attitude adjustment. Yeah, he does.
Wait, you don't think so? You told me it was the only way.
It was. But that was before.
That was last season. No, that was season 2. You don't. So basically, it's almost as if each season is a cycle. If you all are saying cycle this, cycle that, each season is probably a cycle. So it was good for season 2. We're on season 4.
Yeah, but before... Okay, you need to stop talking in riddles.
You're getting so close now, but I'm afraid you're running out of time.
He's useless. He's useless. All right, so he says that he bounces. All right, and we end with Abby reaching out and touching Boyd. All right, so maybe Fatima didn't say anything about her feeling Smiley. I mean, I think I remember her saying that, and that's the reason why she's making the golem.
This is your water.
I don't need to go.
Ellis, it's your turn.
Yeah, but I'm sure Donna can find someone to take my place.
I'm fine. And Donna needs people out there that she knows she can rely on. Honey, I'm okay.
You're not okay. You're not okay.
I promise.
Okay. Is it just me, or does it look like Fatima and Ellis could be brother and sister? Maybe it's just me.
Hi.
So this is Fatima playing around in mud. So Amanda says, Spade, I see it. What do we see? What do I see? What do we see? Spade is Mita and Martin. So Mita says Donna can find someone to take my place. Oh, Ellis and Fatima siblings. Yeah, they kind of look like they look alike. Red Star 24. Oh no, I just thought of a parallel between Tabitha and Henry. She told him to escape. She was pushed out of the lighthouse, and Victor talked about a man who jumped off of Colony House. Okay. So Mita says Fatima having a ghost moment with the mud. Yeah. So House of Mystics says, yes, Victor's stories change. Either he is lying, or we are seeing different cycles and don't know it, or he's really talking to his dolls and walls and the floors and eating people to survive. Because Victor said that he was munching on plants and bugs when he didn't have anything else, meaning that he eventually ran out of peaches in the peach truck. So if you're eating, if it's gotten so bad, there's no regular things that you normally would eat, so you're resorting to plants and bugs. There's only so many bugs you can eat to actually be satisfied and survive. Only so many plants you can eat. Now, some of you all said, well, maybe, you know, he had vegetables and fruit. No, he said plants and bugs. There's a big difference between vegetables and fruit and plants. So if you're desperate to eat plants and bugs, and you saw the man in yellow munching on Miranda, I don't know. I'll leave it at that. So Miss Win LS, what's the game about asking questions? What? So Red Star 24, I'm thinking Henry's jumping, and he will think this is how he escapes, maybe out of the bottle tree or the motel. Okay, that's a nothing burger. Okay, so now we got Boyd. He's entered in with Fatima in this mud.
I told Kenny not to bother you.
Yeah. Well, he, it's a lot of dirt.
Yeah.
You want to tell me what's going on?
I'm making a monster.
That's the explanation. I'm making a monster. Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, so that's pretty much that for that scene. But like I was saying with the K. Dillon thing, it's an actual book, and they show parts of the book open where it's probably an actual story. So I'm thinking that maybe the actual writer wrote Flight of the Chromonacle, and K. Dillon is an anagram of Loki and the writer, Kristen Layden. I wish they would maybe when the series is over with, actually sell Flight of the Chromonacle, and we can actually buy the book and look at it and read it. Because, I mean, the book looks very thick. And it's more than likely an actual story that would be interesting to read the contents of it.
To visit. We have to make a bookmark.
Julia, that doesn't make any sense.
I know what you're gonna say. This is the kid's book.
Yep. All right, so back to Fatima or Fatima.
When you say monster,
Boyd, I know you're worried about me, but you don't have to be.
yeah, I hear you saying that. The problem is, Fatima, this says something else.
Yeah, even with the finished product, it definitely does say something else. Oh, Mike makes a good point. It'd be wild if there's some blank pages at the ends they can write themselves. Yeah. Yeah, Vita says Christy wears Fred's plumber jumpsuit last episode. Yeah, it's a limited number of clothing options, like I was saying. So there's no air conditioning, no soap, no deodorant. So when you wear something enough times in a row, and also there's no detergent. So they're washing stuff with water and hanging it out, hoping that the water takes away some of the funk. So eventually you can only use water enough times to where it's like, okay, I can't wear this anymore. Let me put on a mechanic's overall suit so I can at least feel clean. So House of Mystics, has Christy ever been suspected of anything? No. Besides being a hater, no. Because she is acting like a hater, episode 8.
Have you told Ellis what you're doing in here?
I wasn't trying to hide it from him.
You were looking like you were trying to hide it. What are you talking about? Yeah, you were looking like you were trying to hide it. Looking over your shoulder, didn't share it with Ellis. I guess Fatima's belief system is I'm going to ask for forgiveness and not permission.
He has been so worried lately.
Sounds like excuses.
I figured once he was back from the food run, once he could see what I was doing, it would be easier to explain.
Okay, great. Explain it to me.
Okay. I think this is where Fatima mentions about her dad or something. Let's see.
Where I grew up, beliefs were...
Okay, so... Okay, so we got Fatima about to explain how she grew up and why she made the golem.
Where I grew up, beliefs were very rigid. They defined you. But my dad told stories of all the different faiths. He used to drive my mother crazy because she understood how dangerous it was.
Okay.
But he would just smile. He'd say, Fatima, they have it wrong. They all think their road is the only way.
Ooh, so right now, From is taking a shot at different religions. You think your road is the only way. You think your God is the only God. I think a while back I mentioned that the Bible acknowledges other gods because in the 10 Commandments it says, thou shalt have no other gods before me. And some people were like, yeah, but that just means you can make up a god. You know, money could be a god. And I'm like, okay. Okay, believer. Okay.
They understand that all roads lead to the divine. They simply take different paths to get there.
Different paths to get there, which is kind of a way of explaining why there's more than one religion, aka faith-based system.
Fatima.
Of all the stories my father would tell, all the fables and myths, there's one story I've been thinking a lot about lately.
Okay, she's going to get to the golem. Okay, so... She's going to mention the golem.
Do you know what a golem is, Boyd?
Okay. So she mentions the golem. Some people have said the golem of Prague or Pragu or something. And I'm like, Fatima didn't say that, but okay. So Sophia's going to throw herself in the pool to mess with Sarah, because Sophia is playing multiple games. This is now Julie said that she cut her hair so that her hair couldn't be grabbed, but I'm like, it still is kind of lengthy to grab it. And this is where Victor said that the man in yellow was munching on Miranda.
I brought him in and made him our friend, but he wasn't like us.
But he wasn't like us, okay.
When everyone died, when I found Mom out by the bottle tree, I saw him. He was eating her.
Okay, so some people have said that because Victor has Miranda in white, that this is not Miranda because she's in white. My response will be this: that maybe he did not have the colors, or maybe Eloise drew this and that's why it looks like that. Because it doesn't look like Victor's normal way of drawing. So it could be Eloise made this and not Victor. And that whoever made this could have made it from a vision. Or let's say Victor did draw it. He may have not really had the colors needed to color in Miranda. But I mean, Victor pretty much did say that the man in yellow was munching on Miranda. So it is what it is. So this right here is a good reason why Henry starts drinking like he does, especially after hearing that his child's mother was munched on. Okay, so wait a minute. So is this good enough? I know you all wanted to see Henry cry or have some type of emotion. I mean, he's definitely having a moment right here. Is this good enough for y'all that wanted to see Henry having a moment? This should be good enough, y'all, right? Red Star 24, he seemed to really enjoy eating Miranda. He wasn't that giddy when Julie saw him. House of Mystics, it was an ugly cry. Yeah, it is an ugly cry. Like Tabitha. Ah! Ugly cry Henry. There we go. So does Christy have on the nurse stuff? I mean, the doc, yeah, she still has on her paramedics thing. So she still has on the paramedics thing, and this is episode 4. So the first time or only time or maybe the first time we see her with the mechanic stuff might be episode 8. And it might be because Christy may be feeling like she's not really healing people, but fixing on people who are soulless as if they're vehicles. And this is where Sophia mentions the ram, which is kind of like a callback to Finding the Ram's Head episode, I think it was 3 we just saw. And that's it, the end of the ram. The end of the ram.
Hey, okay if Kenny joins us?
Okay, so boy brought in reinforcements. So Nicole says, I've always wanted that haircut since high school. Okay. Well, I'm sure, I mean, can you get the haircut now? Like when high school ended, did the person that you wanted to get the haircut from, are they no longer available?
Look, I know how strange this must seem, guys, but
Fatima, I need to know why you're doing this.
I told you why I'm doing this.
Why are you doing it now? Whatever it is, I need you to tell me. Please. Don't let this place make you afraid to talk to me.
I still feel it.
Okay, so this is where Fatima talks about feeling it. Let's see. I still feel it. Okay.
Please. Don't let this place make you afraid to talk to me.
I still feel it. That thing I carried inside me, I still feel it.
Okay. So let's see. So House of Mystics, maybe the side characters like Tien Chan, Tom, etc. respawn, like you said. Why did they say they respawned? Like Marielle told Christy, they don't leave. So their soul is trapped in the township. So no respawn like Halo. They're just trapped in the township. That's what I believe. And what we kind of saw, what I believe is Tien Chen Lu and Tom the bartender in the background. But Tabby and Jade come back after a certain amount of years. Example, how old they are. Well, I mean, so Tabitha and Jade are allowed to leave, and their souls go into new bodies and live new lives till they're brought back into the township. So everyone else is trapped, but Jade and Tabitha are allowed to leave and be reincarnated, which I think is interesting. Maybe they might explain that. I mean, it's one thing for them to be reincarnated, but in theory, well, you know what? If I think I saw a Miranda in the background, so I don't, because it should be the same soul, new body, new life for reincarnation. So for Miranda to be in the background, maybe there's something separate from the soul that makes you you, and that's what's trapped in the town.
Feel it how?
Like we're connected. Part of me feels what he feels.
And this thing that you're making is gonna...
Okay, so part of me feels what he feels. So it should be a two-way street.
What, break the connection?
It goes both ways.
It goes both ways. Okay, so she says it. So if it goes both ways, he should be able to control Fatima. If she can control him and stop him from transforming and tell him to stop, then he should be able to control her as well. So the varicose veins may be Smiley doing something to her to drain her so that she can no longer control him. Because those ghoulish children look like they've been drained. Like, there's more to it than just simply a puncture to the head. They look like they've been drained. And they, you know, if what Victor was saying about what, you know what, y'all? I need to... I got to do something right quick, right fast. Let me try something because I want to, I think the video that we're going to do on Parkland Media, I'm going to, you know what, we'll just stay over here because, I mean, we're pretty much already doing the thing. So let me see if I can log in over there right quick. Hold one moment. We'll do a quick non-commercial commercial break while I change some stuff and we'll come right back. Okay, so hopefully it wasn't a break in the stream or anything. If it was, my bad. I just basically I canceled the show on Parkland Media. I mean, we're already over here doing this, so. But so if Fatima says that it goes both ways, then Smiley basically is able to control Fatima. So the theory is, so far, and we'll finish playing this scene. The theory is that Smiley is draining Fatima to stop her from controlling him. And that's what the whole varicose veins over the stomach is. Cause we just saw that episode 1, Christy said everything looks fine. And then Fatima starts having the varicose veins episode 8. So it could be the two-way street where Fatima stopped Smiley from transforming and stopped him from killing Kenny. And in response, he might be draining Fatima the same way that the original townspeople drained the ghoulish children, and that's the reason why they look like that when we saw the season 4 episode 9 trailer. Right, Amanda's right. So no one tell Fatima any plans unless it is planned. Because, I mean, what if Smiley is able to hear what Fatima is saying and what is being said to her like a radio?
He feels what I'm feeling too. He feels how afraid I am. He likes it. But making this, it makes me feel strong.
Yeah, so in my opinion, the golem is just like Fatima's saying, it makes her feel strong to where she would want to do more than just be afraid. It gave her the strength to stop Smiley from transforming, to have him transform back into a human, and to not kill Kenny. So Nicole says, I like that stuff. You like that stuff? You like the golem?
It makes me feel less afraid. It's the only way I know to fight back.
Okay, that could be it. That could basically be it. Okay, so if we want some trivia, which one of the monsters is married? Which one of the monsters is married? Yeah, and even Boyd with this ring, we didn't really get much from that. All right, so go into this part right here. So remember, Ethan, he knows what the Lake of Tears is, where the Lake of Tears is. He has either a feeling or he saw it, like he told Jim when he was in the lucid state season 1. So right now, until we see another Lake of Tears, we gotta assume it's the Lake of Tears. And they're about to put the water on this bird. The bird is injured, and we know that the next episode, the bird gets buried because the water is bad. The water is bad. Bad. It looks bad. The water is bad. Yeah, the bird is definitely alive, and then I believe the water they poured on the bird is what killed the bird. Ain't that something? The bird was maybe gonna eventually heal somehow, some way, and then you're trying to help the bird with the water, the healing water, but you end up killing the bird. Like, the bird is gonna be suffering and is going to shed tears and add to the Lake of Tears. Even though I don't think birds can cry, but figuratively, the bird is going to shed tears and add to the Lake of Tears. Yep, the milkman. Yep. It's a House of Mystics. Tabitha drowned the bird. Oh, man. See, Tabitha? You trying to do a good thing, and you ended up doing more harm than good. This is actually a really good example of doing more harm than good. It's called waterboarding. So Raul 7388 says it's called waterboarding. They killed the poor bird. Yeah. Guantanamo Bay. So Chris says we need Smiley, the cowboy, the milkman, and Man in Yellow to do the YMCA song. I mean, they probably would if they get someone cornered. Chris says the monsters communicate through Instagram, so they are on the same page. There it is. Yep. So Amanda says the milkman delivers more than milk. Yeah. He delivers more than milk. All right. So let's see. So is Fatima in pain or discomfort? I think she just saw the varicose veins and was like, WTF, and that's what they ended up looking at. So I think, even though we haven't answered the questions, I think that's what's going on with Fatima, is that the same way that the children had hope to pour in the roots, and the roots became the symbol, and the symbol became the faraway tree, I think it's the same way with Fatima until we get more information that Fatima is being drained like the ghoulish children were drained. And that's what's going on as in regards to Fatima's stomach. So let's see. Okay, so we got that going. Okay. We'll do one more. Let's see. Now, episode 8 is where we get into where Fatima gets examined.
And you think that you're the reason that thing didn't kill Kenny?
I don't think, Boyd. I know I was.
Okay.
Through, and you think that you're the reason that thing didn't kill Kenny?
I don't think, Boyd. I know I was.
And there's more. Show him.
Show us what?
Her stomach. So Raw 7388. Yeah, I don't think I just think that we're at a point where you're not really going in the box, but It's just a Fatima is Martin. So Raw 7388 says Ellis got that good, gives you varicose veins. See, I'm telling y'all dating choices, man. Y'all's dating choices. On the channel member stream, I was like, it's dysfunctional. Yeah, some of you all may want to have backs blown out. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, when your partner hits the bottom, if you know what I'm saying, that's a good thing. I say more power to them. It's a good thing. More power to them. Que sera, sera. But since some of you all are experienced with the varicose veins on you, you might have blood circulation problems. That's not love. That is not love. Blood circulation problems is not love. That is the opposite of it. And you know what? Some of you all have kinks that you got to get the kinks out. I get it. So it's not really box material. It's just Fatima's Martin, Mita is Martin. You got two for the price of one while you get the kinks out. And we're not here to shame you for what you do, but just know that varicose veins is not love. So you may think it's love, but it's not love. Yeah, Red Star 24. Some of us would be Kevin's. Yeah, I agree. So I don't think it's a bad thing to get backs blown out because, hey, you want to get something out of it, right? So nothing wrong with it. No need for the box. We're all adults here. But just know that if it gets to a point where you getting choked out during the do to where veins are showing, that might not be love. That's all I'm saying. We're not here to shame you for your kink. That just might not be love. That might be a little bit different. So, yeah. So Raw 7388 says, Ellis looks fun, but nah, I'm good. I don't think you're good. I think I don't think you're good. Raw 7388, I think what it is you want to say stuff and you don't want to be judged. We're not here to judge you. We're not here to judge you. So basically with your sentence, Ellis looks fun, just leave it there. Just leave it there and embrace and live your truth. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Right, Mike is right. The only trampoline scene was two characters in the background in Colony House Season 1. But guess what? If you're a part of the Colony House population on the first floor, you're going to be sleeping, and then you might wake up in the middle of the night, and all you're hearing is... And it might be right next to your head or within eye range. Because if you don't have a room in Colony House on the second or third floor, you're down there with the general population and you're going to eventually hear... So somebody might be getting the brakes beat off. Somebody might be getting the brakes beat off. Somebody might be hitting the bottom. Backs may be blown out. That's just a part of adulting And it's going to be like that on the first floor of Conning House. That's the reason why Ellis and Fatima giving Julie space in their room saved her. I'm telling you, you'll be right. It ain't a round of applause either. You're sitting there like it's your first night. You're like, man, I can't believe I can't leave. You know, I was supposed to pick my kids up from school. I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose my home. There's, I have automatic drafts that are going to come out of my bank account. I won't be able to replace that money. So I'm going to lose my bank account. I'm going to lose everything because I'm stuck here. And then while you're sitting there stewing and you're like depressed because like your life is basically over, even if you do make it out of the trap, or the trap goes away, your life is over. You're going to be in the hole. Credit's going to be getting bad. You're going to be having like over 30 days, over 60 days, over 90 days past due. Credit's going to be shot. You're going to have to fix that. And then guess what? While you're in a place with no air conditioning, during the wintertime, you're freezing. In the summertime, you're sweating. Everybody's is rank, musty. You trying to at least get some sleep, and then you hear and you're like, what? What is that? And then you look over and somebody is hitting the bottom. Backs are getting blown out. Someone's hitting the bottom. Someone is getting taken to Pound Town, okay? So someone's going to Pound Town, keeping it family friendly. Someone's going to Pound Town, and you thinking like, you know what? How can you all do this and the world is coming to an end as far as us being stuck here? And they're just like, that's it. Taken to Pound Town. Taken to Pound. So Restar24 says, I would open the window for real. Yeah, you would be like Kevin. Next thing you know, here come the monsters. The monsters come in and they're really taking people to Pound Town. Okay? So Raw 7388, don't be shamed. Don't be shamed. I say live your truth. But just know that if it gets to the point where you're seeing varicose veins, that ain't love. But it could be if that is your thing. So yeah, no need to put anybody in the box. No need to put anybody in the box. If you don't like it, then try to find some way to politically maneuver your way to a room in the second or third floor. At least then you could at least have the conversation like, hey, if you want to go to Pound Town, let me know. I'll leave and come back when the sock is not on the door handle. But on the first floor, there is no sock on the door handle. Like you might be like, oh, I have a space on the floor where I don't have to worry about too many people. There's privacy over here. I'm by myself over here. And then all of a sudden you go to sleep and then you're like, what's pushing me? Who keeps pushing me? What is this? Why am I constantly getting pushed? Is somebody trying to fight me? Then you open your eyes and you see you're like, oh man, is this like really? You all couldn't just go somewhere else because I was here first. And they're like, it don't matter. And then you look up and there's nowhere else to go because it's just for some reason it's Pound Town all over the first floor. So Restar24, I'm joining Victor and his big window rope. Well, hold on, because you got Henry in there. Henry might be like, you can't be in there. Henry might be in there drunk, belligerent, that might be just as bad. Henry might be in there drunk and belligerent and just as bad. So there might not be a place in Colony House to actually go because, yeah. First floor is Pound Town, blowing backs out, hitting the bottom. Victor's room, Henry's in there, a whole mess. Yeah. Every room may have some type of drama. So, the bathroom, well, you may go in the bathroom and you're like, is there like a dumpster in here? Because in the township, there's no cleaning products unless you bring cleaning products with you. So whatever you bring with you, whatever a person brings with them, that's all you have. Well, eventually, if no one is showing up with cleaning products, and think about it, how often do people travel with cleaning products and you're in your vehicle? I have yet to see anyone arrive. Well, you got the bus, it has cleaning products there, but I'm pretty sure the town is using those cleaning products. So, yeah. Colony House might not have a lot of cleaning products, so you may go in the bathroom and it's like a dumpster in there or a landfill in more ways than once. So you think you're going to go into the bathroom and get relief, and it's like a gas station bathroom. So the only good place in Colony House may be a room on the 3rd floor, and you have to use your politics and your skill to get in one of those, because the 1st floor is probably really, really bad. So Mita says vodka 100 proof bath. Well, hold on. Can you get enough together to take a 100 proof bath? Because a lot of people might be like, oh, you're going to put all that in the bathtub? Well, we're all going to be in here with you, because while you bathe in it, we're going to be drinking it, because all we're hearing all day, every day is... And we tired of hearing that. Yeah. Yeah. So Mita says vodka kills your liver and kills the cooties. How do we know that? How do we know that? But anyway, yeah. So people might be like, I'm tired of hearing the Pound Town. I want to come in the bathroom with you. And then you're like, well, I want to take a bath. And they're like, well... You're bathing in the vodka. Yeah. So that's not going to be a good time. So whatever strategy you have, Kevin probably went through all of the situations where your strategy might work. And it was so bad in Colony House that he started dating a monster. He started dating a monster. That's how bad it got. He was like, I got to open this window because everyone else is going to Pound Town. Backs are being blown out. People are hitting the bottom. It's no air conditioning. Yeah, I'm opening up the window, and now Kevin's no longer with us. So remember, it was that bad where Kevin started dating a monster. That's how bad it was. All the people in Colony House, Kevin is dating a monster. And it's more than likely because he's sitting there watching people get backs blown out that he's just like, I want to hit the bottom too. And he was thinking that maybe Jasmine was the path to that. Until he, figuratively speaking, he bit off more than he can chew. Ain't that something? When people say, hey, you bit off more than you can chew, and guess what? Kevin is someone's lunch. So Red Star 24, Kevin was just too picky or creepy? Probably both. I mean, he probably was like socially awkward. It's very difficult to try to ask someone on a date when you just got through watching them get a 2-man ran on them. It's like, I want to ask you out, but someone's running a 2-man. I'm good. Yeah. You know what? You're right. Kevin was too picky because I mean, look, everybody is like it's like a college dorm room, okay? And you're trying to find the right time, and the right time that you think it is, you seeing backs getting blown out, people hitting the bottom, and you're like, okay, you know what? Today's the day. I'm going to shoot my shot. And then you turn the corner. The person you were going to give flowers to is being taken to Pound Town. So, all right. So enough about that. So yeah, live your truth. Rawls. Live your truth. Live your truth. No judging.
After I connected with that thing, I felt... I don't know how to describe it. I felt something go cold inside me.
Okay. So it may be that as Fatima, who was already feeling Smiley, and this was episode 1, when she allowed the connection to take place, that may be where she started to get drained. And I could see the ghoulish children getting drained if they allow for a connection, especially if their parents are saying, allow it to happen.
Okay.
This morning I saw this.
Yeah. So it's just on her stomach, but then again, episode 9, episode 10, it may be all over her and not just her stomach. So like the connecting point might be the stomach, because you know, the part of a mom that connects to the baby is basically, a baby gets connected with an umbilical cord, so it may be like a supernatural umbilical cord that kind of keeps them connected. And it's like maybe the more she taps into or connects with Smiley, the more she's going to be drained, where maybe he's taking life force from her, or the more they connect, they both become the same thing or a hybrid of each other. So if they become a hybrid of each other, maybe Fatima will be able to heal from damage like Smiley and the rest of the monsters can heal from damage. So I have not heard her say that this caused her pain. It just looks bad. But if it's not painful or discomforting, it may just be that she's becoming she's taking on the attributes of the monsters and getting some of their abilities, including healing. So maybe it's Fatima is gaining Smiley's ability, or Smiley's biology. Don't know what to make of it, but that might be what it is, that she's just gaining like maybe her biology is becoming somewhat like a monster.
Okay, yeah. Not seeing any internal damage.
They didn't last time. They did not last time. So Raw 7388, did the kimono woman touch Fatima? She sure did. Remember when kimono woman put her mouth over Fatima's mouth when Victor was down there to make Fatima not say anything? And where's the kimono woman? I don't know. Maybe the same place as the German Shepherds. So Eddie believes that Fatima is going to be used to harm the residents. Uh-oh. So Facia Diggs says like, I see Fatima sacrificing herself to save others. Okay. Yeah, Mita says Ellis's worst nightmare is losing Fatima. He might want to be prepared for a worst case scenario.
All due respect, he didn't see the baby either. Ellis.
No, he's right. There's not much I could tell you other than that physically you're not in any immediate danger.
So what is it then?
Well, I mean, if we were anywhere but here, I would say those are varicose veins from...
Varicose veins, okay. So when looking up varicose veins, they're twisted and large superficial veins caused by weakened valves that allow blood to pool instead of flowing back to the heart. So that could cause a heart attack or a heart failure. So it's just like somebody having high blood pressure. Well, that could be associated with symptoms that cause high blood pressure. So often varicose veins are mainly a cosmetic concern, but they can produce physical symptoms. So okay, so for some people, they're a cosmetic problem. They're just kind of like an appearance issue. So if Fatima's not in any type of physical pain, it might not be a bad thing because some factors that make you develop varicose veins, one of them is pregnancy, other one could be overweight, smoking, female hormone treatments. Yeah, so varicose veins doesn't necessarily mean you have a health issue. Okay. So Fatima might be all right.
Abdominal distension, but we're here, so we are well beyond a standard diagnosis. those things. You said they used to be human. When you did the autopsy, you said all the organs inside were human. Is it possible that I'm turning into one of them?
No. No, that's...
Ellis, let Christy answer, not you taking over the conversation.
That's not what's happening. Tell her that's not what's happening. Can you make it stop?
Ellis, we don't even know what it is. It might also not be a bad thing.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So what do y'all think so far? Is it a bad thing? Or is it possibly a good thing? Let's do a poll. Is Fatima's ability a bad thing, yes or no? Let's do a poll to see what you all say. So Amanda's saying Marielle needs to dump emotionally abusive Christy. Wow. Well, yeah. I mean, Christy is kind of preventing progress like Henry.
Excuse me?
Kenny is alive because of this. She saved his life. Maybe stopping it is not what we should be focusing on.
Do you see her stomach? Does any of this look like a good fucking thing to you? What are you talking about?
For all we know, this could be a temporary side effect.
Could be a temporary side effect. So out of 13 votes, is Fatima's ability a bad thing? 77% say yes, it's a bad thing. 23% say no, not a bad thing. Okay. So Michelle says Marielle is a prophet, rolls eyes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So Mike's got a point that Marielle is suggesting it may be a good thing after she herself was touched by Sophia. I mean, Fatima did save Kenny from being killed. So in my opinion, I think if it saves lives, it can help them get an advantage. Why not? Because this episode 8, had several different discussions about collateral damage. From Jade's plan, even Vision Monster Khatri was telling Boyd, you have to accept you can't save everybody, which is associated with collateral damage. I mean, collateral damage may be something you have to account for when you want to win an engagement, win a combat situation, or win a war. So it's kind of like, do you want to accept the risk of collateral damage, meaning not everybody goes home or everyone gets free from the trap, in order to save the majority? Because like Spock said in Star Trek, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few and the one.
Right, but what's not temporary is the fact that someone who would otherwise be dead is walking around today because of what this allowed Fatima to do, okay? Can you not see how this might be helpful?
No, I can't see how it can be fucking helpful.
Okay, enough, everybody. Let's just all take a breath.
Hey, Fatima, I want to keep you here for observation.
Okay, that's the argument right there. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? People still voting. Because right now, it's easy to knock down an idea. It's easy to knock down an idea, but if there's no ideas being presented, then what exactly can you do? If there's no, if people are presenting ideas, even if they include collateral damage, even if there's a risk things get worse, if no one is presenting alternatives, is sitting around waiting for time to run out worth it? Now, I personally think that the time running out is when time runs out, that's when Jade executes his plan. They remove the faraway tree, they get the bones, and then suffering gets released. I think that's the time running out. However, because you have stuff getting worse due to Sophia and Yellow, you can't just sit around do nothing because stuff is getting worse, whether you know the source of it getting worse or not. So something has to be done because Sophia and Yellow is playing games, and it's only a matter of time before her games turn deadly.
Hey.
Well, at least Christy's walking around now. And Marielle's in here making up beds.
Can I talk to you? Of course. What was that back there? What you said to Fatima was way out of line.
It was out of line, but she's not wrong. It's out of line, but Marielle was not wrong. So Eddie says Fatima goes first down the tree. Going through the tunnels is a terrible idea. So Michelle says, I wonder if Smiley's also experiencing some kind of transformation as well. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? We have no idea what's happening to her. She's terrified. That was not the time or place to go off like that.
Not the time or place, Christy. She saved someone's life. Why am I the only person who sees the value in that?
I'm not saying there's no value to it.
Then what are you saying? Jesus, there are things that come out of the woods at night to hunt us. We need to be finding every advantage we possibly can.
She's right. Let's go to the poll. What do you all think? So out of 15 votes, is Fatima's ability a bad thing? 73% say yes. 27% say no. Well, remember, for those that are saying that it's a bad thing, Sophia in Yellow is constantly playing games. It's only a matter of time before she escalates or escalates her games to where it goes from harmless trickster stuff to people are losing limbs, being maimed, and maybe even losing their lives. Eventually, she's going to want to munch on people. So you can't just sit around and do nothing. So, even though all of the ideas presented have collateral damage, if no alternative is being introduced and you got Sophia doing what she does, it's only a matter of time before you experience suffering either way.
I'm sorry if my timing was inappropriate.
I'm saying that we need to be careful, okay? This place has a way of making you think you're doing good things. Things that you think will help.
Yeah, it also has a way of making you terrified to do anything.
They're both right. It's like Professor X versus Magneto. Both are right. They both are right. Which is why it's kind of, in my opinion, important for the entire town to vote on something and they go with what the majority does. That would be the best solution, is everyone votes. Like, you have the whole town gets together in front of the diner, and people who are for Jade's idea, for Marielle's idea, they lay out the reasons why. And then the naysayers like Christy, Victor, whoever, they lay out their points of view, and then people take a vote. Maybe a show of hands, maybe nays versus yays. And then whatever the majority wants, they go with that. I think that would be the best solution.
Chrissy, I want us to go home. I want us to live the life that we were supposed to have.
So do I.
Then what are we arguing about?
Whose plan is better?
Look, I know we're all scared. I'm fucking terrified. But we have no idea what is happening to Fatima. And I'm not willing to risk her safety so that I feel less afraid.
Christy,
She is my patient. She's under my care. If you have something to say to her, you go through me.
Yeah. 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 So she basically little girled she little girled Marielle, and she's not trying to hear it, which is why it's better to vote. But I'm pretty sure someone like Boyd would want to make the vote. Donna would be against the vote. Like it would be people who are against the vote. And if I was the writers of the show, I would have the town and colony house, or the township, divide into two, where you have one group of people who are like, it's my life, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and the other people who are like, no, everything lies here, everything is bad. And then have the township divide into two for season 5, where you have Fatima on one side, Ellis on the other. You have Jade on one side. You have Tabitha on the other. You have Kenny on one side. Christy on the other. Marielle on one side. Christy on the other. I think I named Christy twice. But you basically have two sets of people, or two different groups, where Kenny is leading the people who are like, any means necessary. Boyd and Donna are on the other side with people who are like, nah, we got to be cautious. And they just go their separate ways. So Mike says, med student going all Meredith Grey on Marielle. Yeah. Yeah. So B. Brock says, if Christy knew Fatima deleted Tilly, what would she be saying? Well, I think if the truth came out on who killed Tilly, that would definitely divide the township. And I think at this point, with season 5 right around the corner, metaphorically speaking, the township might as well be divided. Because someone like Henry getting in front of the faraway tree, stopping Tabitha from trying something, is counterproductive. If you want to escape, you got to try stuff. If you just want to sit around like a sitting duck, then you have people who are for that. So right now, I think 15 votes is going to be the max, and majority, 73% say yes, Fatima's ability is a bad thing. 27% say no, Fatima's ability is not a bad thing. I don't know. I mean, both Marielle and Christy, they're both right. They're both right. It's just, unfortunately, you got Sophia in yellow doing things, and I doubt that she is going to just simply stop. All right. So what do you think? What do you think? So no redirect tonight. No redirect. I think this research stream got everything needed, and I may end up editing it and stuff and posting on the other channel, and that'll be that. So unless we change anything, it's going to be a watch along this Sunday for episode 9 on Discord. Episode 9 on Discord, watch along. 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern for watch along of episode 9. It's going to be similar to how this was as far as a research stream, where we'll watch a scene, pause it, you all type, I talk, and we just kind of do that. Then we move on to another scene, and we go from scene to scene to scene, watching the entire episode 9. So you can get your notes together before then, get your notes during, or get your notes after. So yeah. So Amanda says, no pool time. Yeah, no pool time tonight. No pool time tonight. So I think, no show tonight. Just the research stream. And I appreciate everybody for joining us for that. So Mita says, Christy's so pretty. I don't understand why they did that to her. So the actress who plays Christy was saying that she did not like that she was getting a lot of male attention from the family because she plays for the other team. So she did that to look more appealing to people that she finds attractive. And I think they brought Marielle onto the show so that Christy's character could be LGBTQ, based off what Christy has said in interviews. So, yeah. So apparently people really like the way Christy looked season 1. And Christy's like, nah, I appreciate the compliment, but I really want compliments from the same team that I'm on. So yeah. So thank you, everybody. Let's see any comments that I missed. So B. Brock says, I'm just saying that we know about Tilly, so that should influence our thinking too. It should. But unfortunately, it's kind of like the people in the township, in a way, they have a non-choice choice where they're limited in their choices because they don't know the rules. They don't know what to do to get out and escape. They're basically shooting in the dark. So because they're shooting in the dark, they don't know what to do. They don't know what the end goal is. All they can do is guess. And I'm sure if it was season 1, before they had the Colony House massacre caused by Kevin, more people in Colony House would just be like, this is home now. We're happy here. And the people in the township and in the clinic would just be like, well, we'll just get used to it. But the problem is that you can't get used to it because you have so many different personalities, and you may be happy, but someone else is not. So it's kind of like high school or junior high school. If you had a junior high school, maybe elementary, you yourself may have all these friends at school. You enjoy going to school as far as doing your work and making good grades, or hanging out with friends, or playing during recess. Maybe you like the cafeteria food. To you, you love it, or you're content with it. You're okay with it. It's just like it's either it's great or okay for you and people you know. But then there's a kid over here in the corner, Kevin, who's lonely. Maybe someone else who's getting bullied. Maybe someone else who's going through problems at home. Like, people that you don't know are experiencing hell. So while you're in heaven, or you're like just okay, there's someone who's not okay. So the people who are not okay, eventually they're going to do something, and it's going to appear that it comes out of nowhere. So you have to kind of understand that if you're in a situation where no one's okay, eventually someone in the corner who is going through hell, like really, really bad, and feels isolated and alone, they're going to do something, like Kevin opening up the window. And because you can't account for every personality, if you're in a bad situation, you got to do what you got to do to get out of it, or you'll have someone eventually say, you know what? My life is over. I hate my current situation. I'm making a deal with the other side. And now you have almost a part two of townspeople wanting to do what they have to do to either get out, have eternal life, or do something that improves their situation. I made a theory video where I said that I believe the original townspeople, a part of them wanting to make a deal with the devil is because there was lack of resources, they're starving, they probably were scared, and they made a deal. And now they have joined the evil side. They go from being hungry, scared, alone, and suffering to now they are a part of the problem that they were experiencing. And you're going to have that. You're going to have that. So they have to do something, or someone's going to make a choice, and next thing you know, a window is opened, a door is opened, and then here comes trouble. Yep. Okay. So B Brock VA says, Spade, you're actually right. I appreciate that. We try to get philosophical and analysis and everything. So yeah, we've been on here basically 3 hours. I appreciate you joining the research stream. No redirect, no show tonight. I'm gonna take it easy until Sunday when we have the watch along, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern in the Discord. So I think so. Right now the Discord is jumping. The Discord's always jumping. So for the okay, wasn't meaning to do that. Okay, so to join the watch along, okay, so there's a thing called watch parties with the Frumily. So I'm clicking inviting to voice, and someone's car alarm is going off in the background. All right, so okay, so this channel is private. How do I make it public? No, wait, you know what? Let me go back. Okay, so watch party with the Frumily. Okay, unlimited users. Okay, everything looks pretty much good to go. I don't know why it's saying that. Okay, so. So this is the link to Discord and to the area that Amanda has created for watch party with the Frumily. Yeah, watch parties with the Frumily is okay, so Discord, watch parties with the Frumily. Right there. I'm going to pin it to the top. So yeah. So click on it now. If you send invites, private, shouldn't matter. Okay. Okay. So make sure you click on that and join the Discord if you want to join the watch party. If you're watching on the replay, you might not see a chat because I may have had to edit the video for copyright or whatever. It happens. Because most of the time when people watch the live stream, they watch it live. So people who are watching on the replay, if you don't see a live chat, that's what happened. So I'm going to also post the same link in the description. That way, if you're watching on the replay and you don't see a live chat to click on, you can click on it in the description. All right. So we've been on here basically 3 hours. I'm going to go ahead and end it. I'll play the from ending music for those that subscribe and thumb up the video who haven't had a chance to, and for people to chat, and click on the Discord link to join us on Discord and continue with the Fromily experience. And there's a lot going on with the Discord today. A lot of memes, a lot of madness, and you'll see stuff from when people were trying to convince me that a small motel in 2026 or in the, we'll just say 1990s to current would fit in the space behind the motel pool in the township. So I will say this much. You have to remember when looking for a motel that you believe would fit in that space, that the size of the town is small, is basically smaller than the property of the motel that you're sending. And plus, I would appreciate a motel that has a pool right next to the road like we see in the township. But you know, if you believe nope, this motel in this small town would fit in that space, you could put it in the Discord. I'll look at it, and then, you know, that'd be interesting thing. Yeah, Michelle, Motel Gate. Yeah. So thanks for watching. Go forth, do great things, and we are out. Peace.